Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Stache and Beard Show. I deserve that because I fucking suck at my job as pressing record. So, welcome back to the Stache and Beard Show. I'm Austin Pistulka. That right there is Alan Pilley.
What's up, motherfuckers?
We've been doing this for 20 minutes, and it's all gone because Austin sucks. But you know what doesn't suck?
Dude, I never saw that record button.
Like I literally looked up to see like how much time we had spent on this because I was like trying to gauge like, all right, when are we going to move into this next part, you know, doing my duty as a host. And I looked up and there was no timer going, and I looked up to the right and the broadcast button was still blue, and that's when you know you done fucked up. You done fucked up, AA Ron.
Good skit.
Fantastic. Key and Peele, like one of my favorite Key and Peele skits of all time is the Mexican Standoff with Freddie Wong, where
I want to say I know it.
I bet you do. Where at the end, like there's Blueberry Johnson and a guy who's just a gun. And it's 10 out of 10. Highly recommend the Mexican Standoff.
They're like the part I hated when they brought back Dave Chappelle is when he kind of cast a remark at the two of them for taking over his skit show and his skit world.
Yeah,
and I was like, well, dude, you kind of fell off the face of the earth for whatever reasons, and these dudes looked up to you or you gave them inspiration to continue on. I think their show was way different than Dave Chappelle's. Yeah. But I just thought it was how do you say it? Off mark type of thing. It was like a dig at them, and I don't think those two deserved it. It's not like they came in and pushed him out of Hollywood.
Right. You know? Yeah. And like what I've heard about Key and Peele is that I think is super interesting because I listened to a bunch of different podcasts. One of them happens to be with Freddie Wong, who did who has done a couple different skits with them. He talks a lot about how Key and Peele look at comedy so scientifically. I don't know how else to put it, but they like literally talk about jokes in a way that's really not funny. Like they talk about jokes and like, oh, if we do this, then we need to do this. So that way there's a come down here. And it's, you know, they make jokes not funny, but then they go out and they do these jokes and it's hysterical because they're so good at what they do.
Have you ever heard about when people talk about like what you just mentioned, the science behind it, but like Dave Chappelle, the way he sets his jokes up, it's like, it is a science. It's the way that he does them, but people have come out and taken a look at the structure of his joke and says, hey, look at what he's doing. And he starts working a joke backwards, or he comes out and gives you details up front and then tells the story to then make it funny. But it's like the way that Dave does it. So listening to that, I can see that happening. You know, Dave's got his way. Key and Peele have their way. You know?
Yeah.
I think it's pretty neat.
Have you ever wanted to do stand-up comedy? You're not a big public speaker, so it wouldn't surprise me if you. Yeah, no, there's not a chance.
No.
So last month when I did the whole pro wrestling thing, the after party was at a bar that had an open mic night, and I was like, I looked at the gal or one of the gals who hangs out with us. She doesn't do any wrestling stuff anymore, but you know, she still comes to the show. Her husband was being put in like the Nebraska Wrestling Hall of Fame sort of thing, so she was there hanging out, and she looked at me and I looked at her and I was like, do you want to do this? And she was like, I've always wanted to try it. I was like, me too. And I'm like, I don't know what I would say. And she's like, me either. And she said, if you do it, I'll do it. I said, all right. And I had kind of formulated in my head, I had this idea for a joke based entirely around the fact that I bought a bidet. Because I've always wanted to do stand-up comedy. I've wanted to try it. I think that I'd be pretty good at it. I've done it. I did it one time in college for a charity event. And it went over okay, but I like had the note cards in my hand, so I knew what I was going to say. And so fast forward to doing this open mic night, I go up there and it's a bunch of pro wrestlers and then like one other person. And I get up there and I go, "Hi, I'm Austin Pistulka. Thanks so much for coming in. I really have no idea what I'm going to say, but this might get a little bit gross." And my mind goes blank because I'm like, I have snippets of a joke because in my head, I'm going to be like, all right, so I just bought a bidet, which means that my butthole is cleaner than all of yours. Let's pause for laughter. Follow it up with, but now I can't use public toilets because the toilet paper just, I used to have the kind of butthole that could handle any kind of toilet paper, but now I've got a baby's butthole or something like that. Like, there are snippets of jokes in there, but I didn't know how to transition to any of them. Yeah. And so I get up there and I bomb so hard in front of all these people. I'm up there for what felt like 45 minutes. It was actually like a minute and a half. And I finished telling the joke and I put the mic down. I go, all right, I just did this so the next person could come up and do her thing. All right, goodbye, everybody. And I walk away. But the weirdest thing I got from it, I got a compliment saying, "Listen, you were not funny. Okay. But but you looked like you knew what you were doing. You looked like you were a stand-up comedian. Your jokes just need work."
Yeah.
Which is a weird compliment, but I'll take it from my shitty bidet.
Well, depending on who it came from, like, you know, if it's something and however you take constructive criticism.
Yeah.
You know, definitely if it's something you want to continue.
I've thought about it. I've really thought about like, maybe I'll go to another open mic night. It takes so much more prep than I ever expected.
So you may not, especially right now, you may not be an impromptu comedian. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
You know, yours, if you watch some of these dudes that have been at it, like they tell the same jokes over 200 nights because it's the same city, you know?
Yeah.
The only thing they change up is like, hey, Nebraska, hey, Chicago. You know what I mean? Like, that's the only thing. And it's other than that, it's the same joke, but the way they deliver it, it still stays funny.
Right.
You know? I don't know. I say give it a try.
It's all reps, man. It's all, getting reps in. And so I'm currently at 2 reps, and one of them was a major bomb.
How about that?
Okay. Speaking of people who do things that they are really good at, let's talk about good old Leroy the Machine. That's was a fucking
what we were talking about at all.
Before we were talking about Key and Peele. Good at what they were doing. And then we talked about Austin sucking at that thing. Here's a different one. Talking about things that I'm bad at. Strict curls. Good
segue.
Let's talk about Leroy W. It's LW the Machine on Instagram. Leroy Walker.
Walker.
Yeah, that's it. Leroy Walker. He set a world record for strict curl in competition. 250 pounds. Fuck me sideways. That's a lot of weight. That's more than a lot of people bench. And they're just... His hands... So, hold on one second.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, pretty average. Almost, it's more than a lot of people at my gym can bench. I've been told that 100 times now that that people are shocked at how much I can bench because it's more than 250. So, anyway, that was no reason for me to brag or nothing, but I'm strong as fuck. Anyway, here it is.
So you were going to say something about his hands?
Yeah, so if you look in close, his hands are super close.
Close grip curl.
It is a close grip curl. I've never done curl techniques and finding what's comfortable and what's not. This makes me want to go try and figure out how heavy of a strict curl I can do. And
so on a curl bar, or we even call it a cambered bar, wide grip, close grip, and me and Noah were actually talking about this yesterday, and I think I even said it to you before we started, but then it didn't even hit me. His arms being bent. And I told you how much he weighs. He's 386. The last time I checked his body weight in powerlifting. But he's a big fucker. So
Yeah.
good luck. Good luck getting any type of straight arm around a big old body like that. Okay.
Right.
So
right.
he does start it from a dead position and curls it. So anyway, me and Noah were talking yesterday about his arms. He's like, I can't extend them. And I'm like, but you extend them on the bench press. But taking a look now and thinking about it, like how he's in close on that bar, good luck trying to extend those arms, down out in front of you.
That'd be really tough. I mean, it's tough for me. I mean, I'm just sitting down right now, so that's why it's tough.
Yeah.
But like, even for me, who's not that size, just thinking about straightening it out. But Leroy, you were saying earlier, he's known for more than this. He was a big bench press guy.
He was
I had
bench
never
only
heard of him before
specialist.
this.
Yeah, he was a bench only specialist for a while, and he was attempting to become the 5th or 6th person ever to raw bench press 700 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
I competed with him down here in Orlando at a push pull meet, and then Sarah competed with him out at the LA Fit Expo. He was on the same platform as her for the bench press, and got to watch him take the attempt at 7.
Yeah,
2 attempts at it, I think, and he didn't get it. But I've watched him press multiple 600s, incline bench 650,
Jeez.
All that type of stuff. So he's a big bench press guy, very strong guy.
Yeah. Speaking of big bench pressers, Julius Maddox just missed 800 again.
Yeah.
I didn't get the chance to like read up about it or see anything. Did you hear anything about it other than
No?
just
So he was in Chicago while we were down at the WPO. Took 2 failed attempts at 800 and called it a wrap.
Yeah.
And there's some Iranian dude right now, man. He just hit 356 kilo,
which is doing some quick math.
I want to say
783,
something like that.
Yeah,
times 2.2. Yeah, he's somewhere around in that range. Smoked it.
Yeah,
smoked it, and he's going for, because I think 365 is 803. Yeah, so he smoked this in training. They called him out because everybody's like, "Oh, your plates are fake."
Yeah,
and because where he trains at in Iran, there was like an X where Eleiko, the K would be. So they called him out and said, "Oh, your plates are fake." But right at the Olympics were going on, Eleiko had a set of plates for Japan, and it had Eleiko in Japanese.
Oh.
So the dude comes out with another video and kind of like a, "Hey, fuck y'all." I thought I talked about this a couple weeks ago, but he came out and he had all the plates thrown on the floor, kind of like, "Fuck you, here's the Eleiko plates."
Yeah.
And singles or doubles, a fucking 750 or whatever the fuck it was. Made it look stupid easy. But kind of like a fuck you, there's your fake plates. I'll go use your real plates, and just as fast. So this last video he did, he had a Eleiko. It was spelled correctly. And just smoked 780. Like, made it look dumb. And then talks about in 5 to 6 months or 6 to 8 months, he's going to take a stab at over 803. So he's taking a breakdown, come back. He was doing some shoulder press, and then he'll start getting his weights back up to go hit 803. In 8 months, Julius may have it before him, but this dude is making it look stupid easy.
Is he doing it in competition, or is he doing it?
He's going to do it in a competition and make it official. As of right now, everything he's doing is just training.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah, but this dude's got one hand out, man. He's got one back spotter, no side spots. Takes it down, pauses it, easy 2 count pause on the chest, and then just rockets it back up. It's stupid.
Holy shit!
Yeah,
man.
So 8 months. Julius should have it before this guy, but this guy will shatter it.
That's insane. That's insane.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
I would love to see, because there are big pay-per-views, all around. Oh, sweet. Producer man helping us out once again. So this is Julius taking 782.
Yeah, this is down at the show, the hybrid.
Yeah. Yeah, so that was Julius taking 782.
Okay, so the guy I'm talking about, I don't even know if we can pull him up. The guy I'm talking about made that weight look even faster.
Really?
Yeah, 352.5 kilo. Where's Jody?
But I would love to see a pay-per-view event where the two of them train up and both go for the 800-pound bench press.
Tell Jody to look up Daniel, Danial, Zamani, Zamani. Let's pull that video up and take a look.
There you go. Hell yeah. But wouldn't that be something? Having the two best bench pressers in the world in a regulated competition going head to head, like that sounds like right up like the Arnold's alley, Oh,
dude, that would be absolutely amazing. I mean, that's the bench press competition that we've been to, only in gear.
Right.
Yeah. See if he can pull the video up. The current one, the last one Daniel did. But anyway, this video comes out the other day, and they're like, "Oh, could Iran break the record for every lift?" They got this guy, Daniel. Oh, dude, they've got 3 guys right now they're smoking these lifts. I want to know what's in their plutonium that they're taking for fucking pre-workout.
Oh, this guy's fucking huge.
Oh, he just turned 30 because on his Instagram he's like, I'm 29. I'm like,
yeah. Jody says this is 2 weeks old.
Oh, my bad. 777. Okay.
So about the same. Off by 5 pounds.
781. He's off by 4 pounds.
4 pounds. Yeah. Yeah. So between this guy and the bench press,
watch this. Single man lift off.
Holy shit. Oh my gosh. That was so fast, man.
Yeah, and then he called it there. He's like, "Oh, I'm taking some time off. Gonna come back in about 6 to 8 months, and I'm gonna take 803."
Wow. I'm surprised that he's taken that much time, if I'm being honest.
So I don't know what it's for.
I have a weird question that what is as someone who does not know, what would a steroid cycle be like to get back up to? It wouldn't be 6 to 8 months, not trying to take away anything. We've had this conversation before. I know what
you're trying to ask.
But like, is to come off and then to go back on to get that kind of strength again, it's a faster turnaround than 6 to 8 months, isn't it?
Yes and no.
Okay. Depends on what he's doing. If he were doing that.
So in 6 to 8 months, guy, that's two big cycles if you were like Trent and D-ball.
Yeah.
There's absolutely no need, and I'm just going off my own experience. No need to be on for 8 months of all of those compounds.
Right.
So within that time, depending on how smart you are, say even 8 months, 40 times 4, 32 weeks, 8 to 12 week cycle, 12 weeks off, 12 weeks back on, puts you up around 36 weeks.
Yeah.
And that's that's 12 weeks. That's 12 weeks of trend. Okay.
Yeah.
Which is generally not recommended.
Okay.
Is it done? Absolutely. Very, very harsh on your body to stay on that long for D-ball or Anadrol or Halo or anything like those oral compounds.
Mm-hmm.
But if that's the reason is because he's coming off, cycling off to take care of his body to go back on, who knows? But yeah, for him to come off like that and then wait 8 months, the turnaround to get back up to that weight would be way quicker than 8 months.
Right.
So it's just even to me, it's very interesting as to why he's taking 6 to 8 months to go back up. But now we start talking like people peak You know, people always talk about you never want to peak too early.
Right.
Proper peaking cycles to get in to hit these weights. Like, I don't think since I've known Dan Bell, I got to go back and take a look at his training videos to back me up, but I don't think he ever squatted 11-13 in training. I don't think he ever put it on his back.
No, that was the big thing. We talked about that when he was on with us.
Yeah.
Yeah, he never did that.
Yeah, his whole thing is he knows the way that weights are supposed to move, and doubles and triples and singles and all that stuff leading up, you know, to where he knows, hey, this is going to happen.
Right.
Other philosophies, not saying that one is more superior than the other. You know, I put that weight on my back plus some to make, you know, I may put 11 on my back, I may put 12 on my back to make 1,000 feel like nothing.
Right.
Now you start talking about accommodating resistances and reverse bands and future methods and things like that. And that's also a way of peaking. I am preparing my body to move 1,200 reverse band in such a way that I know 1,000 is there.
Right.
You know, even though I've never done 1,000 in competition or something like that. So that's a method.
Yeah.
So who knows? Honestly, it's such a huge amount of time off that it's just weird. You know, like I've listened to Dan Bell talk about not putting a barbell in his hands for 5 to 6 weeks, maybe 8 weeks after a meet. That makes sense. Somebody like
weeks,
Dan Bell,
not months. You know, that's weeks, not months.
Yeah. So, but somebody like Dan Bell takes 8 weeks off of a barbell, and then in 2 months, and I'm being very, very giving there, is back to weights that he was hitting 4 months ago.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I think really that's just to acclimate his body, just to not fuck things up, just to stay smart.
Right.
Could he come out after 8 weeks of no barbell on his back and go back to squatting a grand easy? I believe so. Would he? I don't think so. You know, he'll load properly, so he doesn't peak incorrectly. So anyway, that's being said. So that's 4 months. And we're being very generous with 4 months.
Right.
This guy's taking 6 to 8, and so I don't know. Does he have plans? Does he vacations? I don't know. You know?
Yeah.
There's a lot that I would love to know, you know, because of why you're taking such a time off when you're that guy. You're that close to that record.
Right,
you take
exactly.
2-3 weeks off, peak, get in, take the record, own it, and be the first man to ever do it.
Right. Yeah. Like,
I don't know.
You're so close. And there's another guy who is just as close as you are. Like, and now that guy failed. So, like, why aren't you going hard in the paint for it? So I don't know. There's something. It just rubs me the wrong way, but not that I don't believe him or anything like that. It's just it's a huge question mark to me. Yeah. So
no, there's a bunch, you know, and everybody's got their own reasons. Maybe he doesn't care about being the first man to do it. You know,
maybe. I don't know.
It's just super weird. It's like, guy, you're right there.
Yeah. Have you seen
like when I was plowing forward, I kept looking at the guys who squatted 1,200, and I think at the time that was number 12. I wanted to be number 13, you know, and I was trying to plow towards it. You know what I'm saying? Like I wanted to be there before you. You know what I mean?
Right.
And being smart, you know, I knew I had a goal in mind and stuff like that. It wasn't one of those, to me. And this isn't the correct way now looking hindsight. I think I went a little too quick. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, to me, it was something prestigious. I have to go back, dude. I think there was only, at the time, were there double digits? There may have been double digits. I think number 12 fell. And then I was like, man, how fucking awesome would it be to be number 13? And then I thought for fucking sure Merck was going to be number 13 when he took 12 at a meet, and they red lighted him. And I'm like, why the fuck did you red light him? And then, you know, now it's just been a battle of, you know, the 13s right now, which is fine. Go, you guys are already up there, which move around the room at 1,200. But anyway, so that being said, I looked at that in my person. I was like, man, I want to get there. I want to hurry up. I don't want to do it in 6 years. You know, I want to do it as quick as possible, as safely as possible, of course. And, you know, it didn't go my way. But this guy is just kind of like, oh, you know, if I bench 8, I bench 8. And I'm just like, but you're right there. You're the first.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
You could be the one and only.
It's not like you're gonna be number 13, like 12 other dudes are doing. You're about to be the first. Let's go do it in 3 weeks. But who knows? I don't know where his mind's at. It'd be interesting to listen to him.
I wonder, does he speak English? Can we get him on the podcast? Producer man, get on that. Get Daniel Zamani on this podcast, producer man. It's your job. You've got the contacts, probably. I don't know. But that is, what is this? Can I add this to the stream? What is this?
I don't even want to know.
Clerks 2 nope. We're taking that off. It's from Clerks 2. I think I know what scene it is. Anyway, this is the Stache Beard Show. We'll be back right after this with more stuff, more shit. This is Stache Beard Show.
Later, motherfuckers.